AMD stands tall as a $159.4 billion chipmaker. Think of it as one of Silicon Valley's big brass pachyderms, wearing a market cap jacket that reads $159.4 billion. In plain terms, AMD's total stock value is huge. It is a Fortune 500 giant, and it signals the company is a major league player. By comparison, Nvidia towers even higher with around a $2.77 trillion market cap, while Intel now trails at roughly $88 billion. So AMD is dwarfed by Nvidia's gargantuan value, but it's roughly twice as big as Intel in the standings. This big size means Wall Street takes AMD seriously. It isn't a small startup, but a well-known company whose moves can sway markets. AMD, the $159 billion chip titan. What does being a $159 billion company actually mean? Imagine AMD as the heavyweight boxer of semiconductors. It packs a punch, makes steady alliances with cloud giants and console makers, and its corner expects it to keep winning rounds. In fact, analysts note that AMD has been making significant strides in capturing market share from both Intel and Nvidia. That same $159 billion valuation is a promise. Investors are essentially saying, "We see you crushing earnings in the future." It's like buying a ticket for a rocket launch, high price now for what we hope is a wild ascent later. All told, AMD's size and clout mark it as a major force in semiconductors, a proven player, not a one-trick pony. P 98.38, paying up for future growth. How about that big P ratio of 98.38? When Investing Pro says AMD's P is 98.38, it's basically telling us investors are paying $98 for every $1 of current earnings. For context, the S&P 500 average P is usually around the low 20s. In casual terms, it's like ordering a coffee for $5 that's supposed to taste like liquid gold. A P near 100 is astronomical. It screams, "High growth expected." Investors trust AMD will grow its profits huge in the years ahead. In contrast, Nvidia's P is only about 39.8, so AMD's price tag per earnings is way more frothy. In sitcom speak, buying AMD at 98p is betting the company is still in its hot startup growth phase, even though it's not so small anymore, basically casting a big vote of confidence in AMD's future empire of chips. Q1 earnings, AMD's forecasts busting bonanza. This confidence has not been blind faith. AMD just earned it with real-world results. In Q1 2025, AMD hauled in $7.44 billion revenue, a 36% jump from a year ago, smashing Wall Street's $7.11 billion forecast. Profit per share was 96 cents, non-GAAP, a touch above expectations. CEO Dr. Lisa Su was practically fist-pumping. "We delivered an outstanding start to 2025 as year-over-year growth accelerated. Our Q1 results and Q2 outlook highlight the strength of our portfolio," she said. And CFO Jean Hu chimed in with a finance bro grin. "We grew first quarter revenue 36% year-over-year. We continue to invest in R&D, positioning the company for long-term growth." In stock talk, that's like hearing your favorite team not only won the game, but also the coach promised a double victory next quarter. By the way, if you are benefiting from the content so far and want more like this, like the video, it means much to me. Hit the subscribe button, turn on the notifications bell, and comment the word more. Just go ahead and type the word more so I know. Now that you have commented, let's continue. Analysts noticed the beat too. After earnings, AMD shares leapt in after-hours trading, a 4% jump, on the positive news that Q1 was excellent and Q2 guidance was solid. AMD guided for roughly $7.4 billion in Q2 revenue, plus or minus $300 million, topping the average street estimate of about $7.2 billion. In plain terms, even despite looming China export curbs, AMD is telling investors, "We'll still make more money next quarter than expected." Bernstein analysts marveled that AMD's strength in PCs and gaming was strong enough to paper over the China AI air pocket. meaning AMD's solid sales masked worries about losing some AI chip sales to trade rules. In short, Q1 was a knockout punch for AMD's narrative, and the market took notice. Gaming and PC, console comeback tour. AMD's Radeon GPU shows off the company's gaming muscle. In the client and gaming business, AMD saw $2.9 billion revenue in Q1, up 28% year-on-year. The secret sauce? Desktop PC chips. Demand for the new Zen 5 Ryzen processors was off the charts. Desktop CPU sales jumped 68%. In gamified terms, it's as if every PC builder decided to upgrade to Ryzen 9. Because benchmarks, baby. And AMD's new Radeon RX 9070 graphics cards smashed the shelves. They sold 10 times faster than previous launches in that first week. Gamers and creators are snapping up these parts, making AMD look like the prom queen of PC hardware. What about consoles? Last year's glut of PS5/Xbox chips is finally easing. In simple speak, the warehouse full of unsold console chips is now emptying out, so the party can start again. KeyBank analysts noted that console inventory levels have returned to normal. Translation: Sony and Microsoft aren't hoarding AMD's semi-custom chips in basements anymore, which means AMD will soon see those sales rebound. Think of it like a long pizza delivery wait finally ending. All the gamers who were held off by shortages are now free to hit buy. In short, both PC and gaming segments are firing on more cylinders than before, giving AMD a strong set of wheels. The big dogs, AMD versus Intel versus Nvidia. So where does AMD stand among its rivals? Picture a Wild West showdown. Nvidia is the big, multi-trillion-dollar grizzly bear, Intel is the aging but crafty coyote, and AMD is the nimble mountain lion carving out its territory. Intel still dominates in name for CPUs, but it has slipped badly in recent years. As of now, Intel's market cap is around $88 billion, barely half of AMD's. Analysts point out that AMD has been gaining market share from Intel in both the client and server markets. In everyday terms, in both your laptop and your server room, AMD is nipping at Intel's heels with better bang-for-buck chips. Nvidia, meanwhile, is gargantuan, a $2.77 trillion tech titan. It still leads the AI chip race in many ways. But AMD has been closing the gap. One report observes AMD has been making significant strides in the GPU market, narrowing the competitive gap with Nvidia. AMD's latest RDNA 3/4 GPUs have impressed reviewers while being priced more competitively. It's the classic price versus power duel. Nvidia's GPUs have raw muscle, but AMD's often come in at a lower cost, grabbing slice of the mid-range market. Analysts like Cody Acri point out that AMD's next-gen MI350 AI GPU, slated for 2025, is designed explicitly to challenge Nvidia's dominance in AI chips. Think of MI350 as AMD sharpening its claws to scratch at Nvidia's throne. Both AMD and Nvidia have fierce software ecosystems too. AMD is propping up an OpenStack, ROCm, and touting its MI300X as the most advanced AI accelerator in the industry. Yes, that's CEO Lisa Su trumpeting it against Nvidia's H100. It's a bold claim, like daring the neighborhood's champion boxer to a sparring match. But it shows AMD's ambition. It's not content playing second fiddle. On the flip side, even amid all the hype, some warn AMD still has a fight. Newer Intel server chips and Nvidia's latest GPUs are no pushovers. In other words, AMD is the scrappy challenger in a fierce three-way brawl for silicon supremacy. So how does AMD keep this momentum going and stay a force to be reckoned with? The playbook is packed with smart moves. It's investing heavily in R&D, building the next-gen chips that will power everything from gaming rigs to data center behemoths. For example, AMD announced the RDNA 4 graphics architecture, Radeon RX 9000 series, plus 5th-gen Ryzen and EPYC processors. It's also gobbling up strategic companies. It closed the acquisition of ZT Systems, AI server hardware, in Q1 to lock in more rack-level AI business, and famously bought Xilinx a while ago to steal a lead in adaptive chips. Su said they Believe in end-to-end AI in every aspect. AI is going to be throughout our entire product portfolio. Translation: expect AMD to sprinkle AI acceleration chips in all kinds of products, not just one-off gadgets. Key catalysts lie ahead. AMD plans to launch its MI350 GPU in mid-2025, 3nm process, lots of memory, and even MI400 in 2026. These are meant to tackle NVIDIA head-on in both AI training and inference. On the CPU side, the next generation, Turin EPYC server chips, built in Arizona, are dropping in 2025 as well. AMD's software stacks, like AMD's ROCm and Fidelity FX, also keep gamers and data centers coming back for more. The combined effect: a very busy pipeline. If we fully obey the Lord, the Creator of heaven and earth, and carefully follow all His commandments, He has promised to set us high above all the nations of the earth. Deuteronomy 28. We shall be blessed when we come in and when we go out. I appeal to you to accept God and let Him be your guide, for He will never leave you nor forsake you. Do not be afraid, do not be discouraged. Deuteronomy 31 verse 8. Want more information? Please check the description section. That's the end for now. If you have watched until the end, drop a comment like this: I stayed until the end. Just comment that I stayed until the end. When I see this comment, I will give you a heart. 3 more favors I request from you. First, like this video, subscribe, and then turn on the notifications bell. If you do this, you greatly encourage me to continue bringing to you insightful content. Do not miss out on our future videos full of insight. All I am asking is your subscription. Thanks for joining us today. Your support means so much to us. Do not hesitate to share this video to help someone who may benefit. I recommend that you watch the next video, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts about today's video. Wish you God's blessings and care. Faith and prayer will do what no power on earth can accomplish. See you in the next video by God's mercy.